Hi, welcome to Let's Talk Real Estate. I'm your host, Charlie Flannery, and my guest today is an actor and a bank security consultant from Charlestown, Mr. Robert Kenney. Mr. Kenney, thank you for coming today.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
And may I call you Bobby?
Absolutely. Can I call you Charlie?
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you so much, Bobby. I had gotten a call from you a couple of weeks back, and you started telling me about your business that you've got going up in Charlestown. Now, I found it ironic that you were in the bank security business, because the only thing I really know about Charlestown is, I saw that movie, The Town, and it seemed like everybody in Charlestown robbed banks or armored cars. And how did you happen to find your way into this business of working on the opposite side of the fence?
Well, I had an opportunity to get into the business. A friend of mine asked me, he says, my buddy's president of the bank, and, they're having a lot of problems around Charlestown, and, you know a lot of the guys, you know the ins and outs. Would you be willing to, come on as a consultant at first? I thought about it, and I said, I've got a lot of friends around, you know what I mean? I wouldn't want to cause any problems, You can imagine me being in a bank and one of my friends coming in. But I decided, I thought about it, and I said, I've been on the straight and narrow for a lot of years now, and, I said, okay, I'll take it. So I went from there. Someone in another bank asked me to watch their bank and so on. So I started hiring guys, legitimate guys.
Are they union?
All union, yeah. These guys are all union. And got a pretty good business going. And then
you get a lot of referral from union guys and other unions, I bet?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And, one thing led to another. Business was growing. But lately, things aren't as busy, in Charlestown as they used to be in the bank robbery department.
In the good old days?
So rather than lay guys off, I said, maybe I'll move out to a nice little town like Taunton. I have a kid that gets into a little bit of trouble, so I want to get him out. He's doing pretty good now. He's like 22.
Yeah,
he's a sophomore. He's doing good.
What college is he in?
He's in high school.
Oh, okay.
But he's doing good. He's doing real well.
Finally finding his feet. I tell you, we have a new alternative high school.
Out in Taunton?
Yep, going to be opening up. It sounds like the perfect fit for a guy like Bobby Jr. He's just starting to get his feet underneath him.
My wife might have that might have been why she mentioned Taunton, because she heard something about the educational, says they could do something with him. He's a good kid. He's just misunderstood with the teachers. But he's passing 3 out of his 6 classes.
Batting 500.
That's good.
You hit 350 in the major leagues, they'll pay you $20 million a year.
What's wrong with batting 500?
Nothing.
No.
Nothing.
A lot of his cases were, they were. Well, in the beginning they might have been a little serious, but lately they're just minor things. You know what I mean? Like, stupid things. Like, for example, okay, I'm going to tell you a story. His buddy calls him up. He says he wants to meet him. He wants to sell him some weed. My kid liked the weed at the time, no more though.
Yeah.
So he comes up with the bright idea, well, you're in Boston, I'm in Cambridge, I'll meet you halfway, up in the Mass Ave Bridge, halfway. My kid, he wasn't too smart at the time. He's a lot smarter now. But he says, okay, he jumps in a cab and he goes to the cab driver, drop me off at the Mass Ave Bridge.
In the middle?
In the middle.
In the middle, okay.
So the cab driver pulls up, he says, you want to get out here? He says, yeah. The cab driver, he says, he threw him an extra $5 or whatever. He tipped him, figuring the cab driver's going to keep his mouth shut. Because I always told him out in Vegas, you want someone to keep their mouth shut, just tip them, So he learned a little bit, what I mean? So he gets out, he's sitting on the wall, waiting for his buddy. It's starting to get dark. He sees gumballs down this and that and cops, cars coming. So gets a brainstorm. He climbs over the wall and he hides down and he crouches. Now the cops pull up, and he's hiding over there, and they're looking over, shining the light. So he knows he thinks now his buddy set him up. I'm saying, well, why would his buddy set him up? His buddy was the one selling him the weed. It wasn't your buddy. It was the cab driver or someone driving by. Here he is sitting up on the wall. So he gets up and runs. He starts running, not towards...
What did the cops think? He was going to jump or something?
Well, wait. Okay. Don't jump the story now.
All right.
He gets off the wall. Instead of running towards Cambridge, might have had a shot, he runs towards Boston. They got the bridge blocked off. They get on, they tackle him. They put him in the paddy wagon. Next thing you know, he's at the Mass General in a padded cell. Right? They thought he was going to jump off the bridge. So they're calling, trying to call. He didn't want to call me or Robin, so he starts calling, his uncles and everybody to come and get him out, and no one wants to get him out. So I guess he tried to get out himself. They had a couple of guys in front of the door guarding him, and they left the door cracked. So he goes and kicks the door. He runs through all the Mass General, the cellars, and he ends up coming out of he said he ran through the morgue. It was all tunnels. He comes out towards Leechmere Square, runs across the highway. The cops cut him off. Boom. Take him back, put him in a bigger room locked the door. So the psychiatrist come down and was talking to him. Finally, he talked his way out of it, and they let him go. But he ended up with a case from that. And then I get a bill from the Mass General. I don't know, a couple of $100 emergency room services. I put in red magic marker. Sorry, he jumped, and I sent it back.
Sorry, he jumped.
He jumped, and I never got another bill.
Well, we've all been teenagers, you know what I mean, and done crazy stuff. And thank God, for the most part, we tend to outgrow it,
Yeah, hopefully, his brain will catch up,
Yeah. But Taunton, I'll tell you, Taunton's a good place for kids.
Is it? Well, that's good to hear.
And young adults, there are a lot of opportunities here.
Wow.
We got a casino coming in,
Really?
Talk about a guy that provides security.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, that'd be right up my alley.
We got the Wampanoag Indian tribe is building.
The who?
The Wampanoag Indian tribe.
Oh.
All right. They just won the rights to put a casino in Taunton.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Big doings, big doings. I'm hoping for a big job. Yeah. I'm hoping.
It sounds good, Charlie.
The phone ain't ringing, but I'm hoping. I keep throwing it out there that I'm available. The first 85,000, I'm taking. Well, there, it's out there.
That sounds like a great opportunity. That's why I really come out to Taunton. I heard, business was better out here in the security area. Aside from my kid,
We have problems like a lot of smaller cities do.
Yeah.
But we're certainly nothing like a Lawrence, you know what I mean, or a Springfield or a New Bedford.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Kind of a sleepy town, Taunton.
It's just kind of a sleepy little town.
That's what I like.
You can go and see the cannon on the green, and then
that's a good time, I guess. Huh?
And then if it's after dark, there's about 4 bars you can get a drink. And they're trying to revitalize the downtown.
Yeah.
There's a few storefronts for sale. I don't know if this is an operation you're gonna. I know you've talked about relocating the family here.
Right.
Are you going to be looking for office space as well? Or?
Office space, but not storefront. Just a small office. At first I was working out of my house, but now I've got like 6 guys, so we have to have an office, to meet and have meetings and stuff like that. But I've made a few connections out here, so I got some work coming. I don't want to lay any guys off. If I come out here, I get enough work guaranteed, so I don't have to lay them off, And they're all willing to come out,
Do you do any type of security besides bank? Do you do any like personal security?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Been doing that for a long time.
No kidding.
Yeah.
You look like a guy that could take care of yourself. Show me them guns. Show me them guns.
I work under the covers.
Oh, wow. Hey.
I work. That's a twitch. That's a twitch. No, that ain't a muscle. Yeah, I do undercover work. Under the covers, whatever you want.
Under the covers.
Undercover.
That's your best work.
Undercover work.
Undercover work. Yeah.
But yeah, I've done various things. Not that I want to talk about really.
Yeah, but bodyguard stuff.
Yeah,
everybody sometimes. I know
I've done it in the past. You know,
I know if I go out in public.
it depends who it is. You
If
know?
I go out in public to certain places, I know I'm hated, and I like to have. I feel more comfy with a couple of bodyguards. You know.
Well, you know,
All
today, you know, you really do need security. You know?
I mean, I have a lot of fans, and most of them are wonderful
more
people.
fans
You know what I mean?
yeah,
But all it takes is, you know, if 3% of your fans are nuts, and we know the general population, more than 3% of the population are nuts.
You mean I got at least one person that hates me? The more fans you have, the more enemies you're gonna have.
You know,
Goes with the territory.
Well, I was at some event the other night, and the speaker said 1 out of 3 people has a mental disease today.
You serious?
So I looked at the guy to my left. He looked all right. I looked at the guy to my right. He looked okay. I said,
"Did you look in the mirror?
It must be me. You know, I'm the guy."
Did you look in the mirror?
Oh gosh, but yeah. So there's all kinds of opportunities, and I mean, I know from Charlestown. I know that's been really gentrified. You know, a lot of the yuppies have moved in. They've pushed out a lot of the townies. And the prices have gone
skyrocket.
Yeah. I mean, so if you've owned for some time, you got something you can unload for a chunk
capital
of
gains
change.
is going to croak. You know, capital gains knocks that out.
I don't know. Again, I'm not an accountant or a tax attorney, but I know that they revised
they did.
a lot of the things, not only regarding capital gains, but particularly pertaining to the sale of real estate.
Right.
I think at one time you used to be limited to like 250,000 of profit. So if you paid 200 and sold for 450, you had 250.
6 for a couple.
Now it's way up there.
6 for a couple. Yeah.
It's way up there. You know.
And then there's a way around it too. If you get, you know, if you have a 2-family, you can condo out one unit. 2 years later, condo out the other. There's ways around it.
Sure.
It's a pain in the neck, but yeah, it can be done. It's, you know.
But I think you know, Taunton would welcome you with open arms. You know,
You think so? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And there's you know, if you don't need a storefront, so you don't need something
office
downtown.
space. I looked around.
Yeah,
There's some reasonable, you know, office space at reasonable prices. And,
Sure.
And the houses out here are pretty cheap. Comparatively speaking.
Oh yeah.
Compare it to Cambridge, Boston.
Oh yeah. I'm working with a guy now, an investor, and he's looking like up on the North Shore, like Malden, Medford, Chelsea. Those.
You call that the North Shore?
Well, isn't it?
Well, the North Shore is a little further up. Like I think of the North Shore as Gloucester, up that way. You know.
Oh, that's Cape Ann.
The North Shore, but you call.
Oh, sure. As soon as I get over the
North
Shore. As soon as I go over the bridge, I'm on the North Shore.
People
you know?
out here, it's the North Shore.
I crossed the Mystic River, and I'm in the North Shore as far as I'm concerned.
It's a nice area, the North Shore.
But I mean, I'm seeing properties. Like I say, I'm working with an investor that's looking for stuff up there, and I mean, I'm seeing these properties that they're asking for $499,000, $599,000 for like 3 families. Down in Taunton, they're going for like $225,000, $250,000. You know.
For 3 families.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Good ones too.
Little single family just sold in Cambridge for like $640. A dollhouse.
Wow.
Cambridge is high. They have right across from us. I have a piece of property there, right across the street. I thought they were going to get 4 or 5. 640. She was only asking 6. They bid it up to 640. It's like a price war going on there, you know, in Cambridge.
Yeah, you know, I would imagine there's certain neighborhoods or you know sections of cities where you know there's no more land.
Right.
A lot of times, people have been doing it for years. I know this woman builder, Cindy Stumpo.
Oh yeah.
You know Cindy.
Oh yeah,
you know?
absolutely. Yeah. She builds mansions.
She builds mansions. I just want
Beautiful.
All I want is a listing on 2 or 3 of them. I'll hire you to be security. I got a buddy Al. We'll get him to drive us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, she
You know what I mean?
builds. I see on Facebook. I see her on Facebook.
Yeah.
She's actually a friend on Facebook, you know.
Yeah.
And I see the houses she builds. She builds them quality and, you know, high end, all high end.
Is she single?
Charlie, I don't know.
She's very, very interesting. I've had her on my show.
I believe she is.
I've had her on my show. You know, she was on with her personal assistant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget the guy's name, but they were on together. You know, and
she's one
very
of the
impressive
few,
woman.
Yeah, one of the few female builders that are in the area, in New England, anywhere for that matter, that's doing what she's doing.
And in that stratosphere of prices, I mean, I don't think there's ever been a house that sold for $10 million in Taunton. You know?
Yeah, she's over in Brookline, Newton area. You know, they'll knock down a house worth $500,000 and put one up.
Yeah. There's a lot of what they call tear downs.
Is that what they call them?
Yeah, tear downs. They're buying it
To me,
totally tear downs.
They're beautiful homes.
I know. People get spoiled, don't you think?
Imagine tearing down a house for $500,000. What about $500,000? You'd be proud to move in it.
Yeah, you know, why would you destroy it? Well, of course, a lot of times those houses, they get antiquated systems.
They look
you
good
know what
from
I
the
mean?
outside,
And the house is, you know, 100 and something years old. All the timber's
Maintenance,
rotted
high
out.
maintenance,
I mean, you know, it's like, it's almost best to tear it down. It sounds criminal. You know what I mean?
She tears them down and puts up beautiful homes. You know,
Yeah, she does.
So
She does.
But you had her on the show here.
She promised me she was going to list a couple of her homes with me. And Cindy, if you're out there listening, I'm still waiting. 508-884-8869. Anyway, now moving on.
Yeah.
Does your wife Robin work, or is she a housewife, strictly a housewife?
She just takes care of business at home. Yeah, she's a housewife. Yeah, I think she was going to come, but she had an appointment at the nail salon. You know, getting her fingernails tattooed or whatever. They put pictures on. It's crazy. She puts pictures of the dog on one, my daughter on the other. I said, don't put my picture on your fingernails, especially not this finger.
Not the one that. or this one here.
Oh, this one here. So put a $dollar sign on that one.
Yeah.
So she couldn't make it because
That's
she
too
wanted
bad. It's too
she
bad.
wanted to meet you too. You know,
I spoke with her over the phone.
Yeah,
a couple times.
she said
sounded
that.
like
Yeah,
a lot of fun, you know.
She said, "Oh, Charlie sounds like a nice guy." I said, "Yeah." So.
There's nothing like and I'm sure you know in your business, you know, there's nothing like getting to know somebody.
Yeah.
You know, building up a little personal relationship, and then you're doing business. It's just, you know, people want to do business with people they like.
Of course.
know?
That's what it's all about. You know, you sell yourself. It doesn't matter if you're selling a house, a car, or whatever. You're selling yourself. Your personality sells it. You know. I mean, you go to a used car, go to a car dealership. If you don't like the guy, he comes off like whatever. You're walking away. Same thing with with a house or whatever. They turn you off. You know, you don't trust them. You're gone. You know.
Now, did it take you a long time in the bank security business to build up that level of trust? Because I know we've talked on the phone, and I hope you don't mind if I share this with the viewers. But Bobby did confide in me that when he was maybe around Bobby Jr.'s age, 22, he did have a little brush in with the law, and what'd you do, 3 years, Bob?
Yeah, it was more of a case of mistaken identity. You know, I've got 4 brothers. We all look alike. At that time, we all looked alike. And I seem to be the one they always snagged first. You know what I mean? If one of my brothers did something, so. But
And then there's always that code of silence. What do they call that in Charlestown?
Oh, pretty much.
Omerta, something like that. Omerta.
I'm half Irish.
I know.
I'm only half Italian.
I know. I never knew how, because Charlestown was mostly Irish. I never knew how that Italian word crept into the vocabulary. You know what I mean? There was only, I think, 3 Italians that were living there back when I was there, and I think one of them moved. you know.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of Irish Italian around now.
That's a very that's my combination.
Is it really?
Yeah, my mother's people were from Italy, and my father's people were from Ireland. So I guess that makes me just what, a second generation American.
Same with me. My mother's Italian. You know, I come from a big family. 9. It was 10 originally. 9
10,
of us. 5 boys, 4 girls.
Wow.
Yeah. But you get lost in the crowd too. You know,
Oh,
big
yeah.
families. Yeah.
Yeah. And you gotta be quick or hungry. You know,
you gotta eat fast.
I know. On my second marriage, it was both of our second marriages. So she had 3 children, my stepchildren, that were 5, 7, and 9, and then we had 2 more together, a boy and a girl, and so there was always 7 of us for dinner.
Right.
I used to cook these massive chicken cacciatore dishes, and
Oh, you cook?
I love to cook.
Oh, yeah.
I am. That's my hobby.
I wish I could cook. You know?
I am great. One of these days, I'm going to have you and Robin over.
Maybe you should have been in the restaurant business and not the real estate business.
You know, I've thought about it, but I think
All these storefronts around here, you know.
Well, do you know?
I could provide security.
You could provide. You know, everyone looks at a restaurant, and they see the guy, you know, happy faces, and the place is packed, and restaurants have the highest failure rate of any business. You know, it's like, I don't know if it's over 50, 60%. It's really tough to get financing for a restaurant, you know, unless you're buying a pizza joint or something like that. But I mean, if you want to open, you know, a classy place, it's a roll of the dice on a few $100,000, because, you know, generally they do a makeover.
Yeah.
You know, it's no easy thing.
No, you know, and you're dependent on the chef. If you don't cook yourself, you depend on them. It's like your life, you know, your life is in their hands, for Christ's sake.
Well, I get guys that want to, you know, they want me to sell a business for them.
Oh, really?
You know, various businesses.
Right.
You know, it could be a pizza parlor, could be a restaurant, could be a this, could be a barber shop, whatever it is. You know, and the guy says to me, you know, well, gee, last year I made 150,000, and therefore I would like to get, you know, at least 3 times that. I want to get $500,000 for the business, right? And then I look at the numbers and everything, and then I realize, yeah, the guy made 150,000, but he was working a 75-hour week. To me, and to an investor, I don't want to buy a job.
Yeah, that doesn't.
You know, I buy a business. I pay you $75,000 to run it, and then whenever I make whatever you don't steal is my profit. And that's why I need security to watch. You know, just like a casino. Oh, there you go. Now, they always have floor guys up there.
I could set up a security system in your restaurant. They wouldn't get away with a quarter. Believe me.
Some places, they count the cups, you know.
Yeah, people bring in their own cups.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ways around everything, you know.
There's an angle to everything. But, I mean, so have you spoken to any of the local lenders? Are you putting any feelers out about things? Or?
No, in this business, you know, we don't have a big capital outlay for real estate or furniture. It's just an office, a desk, a few chairs, you know.
Yeah, but I mean the clients, the banks that you want to do
I've
security
talked to them.
for.
Well, I've got referrals from other banks, and a couple of them, not to mention any names, got branches out this way. So, you know, I guaranteed a few accounts, enough to keep the guys working. Then I'll build it from there. You know, I'll take it from there. You know?
Yeah, I'll tell you this. It's Taunton. I mean, the cops do the best they can, but sometimes it seems like a revolving door. You know, the cops arrest these guys, and then, you know, they're in court, and it's personal and recognizance. They get released on, you know, and then 2 weeks later they're getting arrested again for something else. You know, it must get frustrating for the cops, you know.
It's the American way.
Now, like if you guys, I mean, off the record, if you guys are, say, with like providing security at a certain place, and say some guy attempted to do a bad thing. Has it ever happened that while you're of course, I would imagine one of the first things you do is you call the police.
Oh, yeah.
And you tell them, we got a bad guy who's trying to do this. And then, I mean, do you ever, just kind of 2 or 3 years, give them a few?
No, because...
That could be on camera, too. You don't have a special room where you go in and give the guy a little massage?
No, I don't take it personal, most of these...
It's not your money anyway.
Well, it's not my money, and this guy, if a guy's trying to rob a bank, first of all, he's got to be desperate. He's desperate. So, you start asking yourself questions. Why did he rob the bank? Why did he want to do it? Then you find out, when you dig a little deeper, it's almost like, you start feeling bad for him. He's got a kid that's sick, and he lost his job, and he's a desperado, and he robs a bank. So, after you'd feel bad afterwards. You find out the true story. Not that that's any excuse to rob a bank, but he isn't robbing a bank just to rob a bank. Maybe he's trying to feed his family. Maybe his dog needs an operation. I don't know.
Maybe he's addicted to OxyContin, most likely.
I didn't want to say it, but
yeah.
That's 9 out of 10 times.
I mean, you see these guys. I mean, what would possess somebody?
It's mostly
in broad daylight.
Yeah, it's mostly drugs.
I mean, I imagine, I think I saw a sign on one bank recently. You couldn't go in and you couldn't enter wearing sunglasses or a hoodie.
Nope.
No,
you can't wear sunglasses, can't wear hoodies. Wigs are okay, I guess.
Wigs are okay.
Wigs are okay, yeah. As long as they don't cover your face,
How about pants falling down? Can you have the pants falling down, or is that a giveaway?
That's kind of a giveaway, guys.
You know what I mean?
I've seen guys put shotguns in their pants, And you got them baggy pants hanging way down. You can't tell,
Yeah.
All of a sudden, a sawed-off comes out of it, A guy with, regular clothes on, you can see, you can tell. I could tell if I had a shotgun in my pants. Well.
Or if you were just glad to see me.
I didn't want to say that. But I usually have my dog with me, and this dog has like a sixth sense. When I tell you, I got a pit bull.
What's his name?
Harry.
I like it.
He has a sixth sense. The only 2 guys he ever bit were 2 guys that were sour, bad guys. And I thought they were good guys, and he went after them. And a guy that raised them, the kennels that raised this dog, he told me, trust your dog. But he's from Charlestown, and the only problem is every time a Brinks truck goes by, he chases the guy. I can't break him with it.
I love Harry already, and I haven't even met him. You got to bring him down when you guys come to Taunton.
I don't know how he's UPS trucks, no. Mail trucks, no. I'm telling you, if he's facing that way and a Brinks truck is coming, his ears first go up, and as soon as boom, he's gone. I got to chase him for 2 miles to get him back.
I wonder if he'll change once he comes to Taunton. I know they say you can take a dog out of Charlestown, but you can't take a Charlestown out of a dog. Listen, Bobby, I can't believe we've talked our way through 30 minutes already.
No way.
We have, and
I'm going to miss you.
I'd like to thank you for coming on.
My pleasure, Joe.
And I wish you all the best with your relocation to Taunton.
Well, when I get out here,
I can't wait to meet you, Bobby. Meet with you, Bobby Jr., Robin.
You'll like him.
And
You'll
Harry.
like Bobby.
Sounds like a great family, and I think Taunton's going to love you. Listen, I'd like to thank you for tuning in today to Let's Talk Real Estate. And how I got in touch with Bobby was, if you write an email to Let's Talk Real Estate at Verizon.net, and in the subject line put "Be a Guest," and give me a little breakdown of what you'd like to talk about, and we may have you here someday on Let's Talk Real Estate. Thank you for tuning in, and stay safe.